No, 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 no. It's 2020. You can't have an antenna in a rear wiper anymore, especially not in Arizona. We haven't seen rain in the last 100 days. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to a super quick video on how to delete the rear wiper and antenna on a 2G DSM. Tools you'll need for this little ordeal are a 10mm whatchamadingy, a flathead long thing, ideally reversible with a crown long thing, aka a 10mm socket, and a Phillips and flathead screwdriver. First things first, you're gonna need to take off this rear plastic cover. In order to do that, there is a Phillips right here. Sorry, car. There's a Phillips right here and a Phillips right here. Pop that out, and then right here you've got like this little clothes hanger thing. So you pop that out. I put mine back in. My car's gonna be apart for a while, so I'm gonna leave them off, but you'll need to take that out. Then just pop this down. Be very careful. This plastic can be brittle, but once you've got those two Phillips and that hanger off, this thing just pops right out. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Let's take this wiper off first. Flip that up, 10mm nut underneath there. And once you got the nut off, just kind of turn it to the side. Either lift up. If it doesn't come, just keep spinning it counterclockwise. Keep it off the paint, obviously, until it's loose enough to take off. Okay, next come over to your rear wiper motor. Grab this little black thing and squeeze at the bottom. Pull out. Then you've got 1, 2, 3 10mm bolts that we'll have to take out. And once the bolts are out, it should just pop down. Okay, then you'll just pop that little rubber grommet up and through. Okay, once that grommet's out, you're gonna have a little hole here, so I'm just using some rubbing alcohol on a microfiber to clean it up a little bit. Okay, now to plug this hole, I've got this little Amazon part. I'll put the screenshot of it right up over here, and I'll leave a link to it down below. To my OG subscribers, this is the same plug that I used on my 350Z, but I really like them because they've got the rubber gasket on each side, so it protects the paint, seals the water, and they just look kind of sweet. Right? I mean, it looks pretty sweet, right? Okay, so we'll just send it through on the one side, meet it with the opposite side, and then take the 10mm nut and thread it on, and bolts down, but not too tight. Keep an eye on your O-ring seals on the inside, because both side has an O-ring, so you want to make sure it's placed right so that it seals the water out. I forgot to mention it in the intro, but a zip tie for that harness and a scissors is a good thing to have as well. Okay, at this point the rear wiper is done, so you can reattach the plastic. Just pop it all back into place. Don't forget about your Phillips here, and your little coat hanger hook thing here. Okay, next we'll tackle the antenna. So you're gonna want to take out your carpet, just pull it straight up. Then you've got two Phillips on these little hinges right here. Pop this out. Then 1, 2, 3 Phillips on this little guy. Once that's out, pop these two Phillips right here. And you'll pop that cover out, and there's 2 more Phillips right here and here. Okay, now we got to pop this panel right here. It's all pressure fit. What I would recommend doing is lifting up first and getting these top ones popped out, and then straight out. So you've got, one of mine's broken, but you got like 1, 2, 3, 4 of those clips going across the top. So lift up on those first before you pull out to get these clips out. And this one. Then you gotta be careful too, because these things can pop out, so make sure you don't lose them. Okay, if you're looking at the back of the trunk, there's a little plastic flathead screw here. Then just above the light and back, there's a like hanger that you screw off. Okay, now once you got all that out, you've got 1, 2, 3 more Phillips to snag. Okay, then you should be able to kind of pull back from the front here and pop it loose. Okay, right behind the light, there's this little wire. So you just grab it from the trunk side and squeeze, and that should just pop right out. Okay, I'm not sure if this is a factory antenna or not, but there was a little screw stud that came out from the bottom of the antenna that fit into here. So I just winded this off lefty-loosey, and then once I did that, I was able to pop the antenna off. Okay, for the time being, I am going to just unplug the antenna. I think you can see where it meets back here. It's already zip tied there, so I'm just gonna pop that out. Okay, for the antenna plug, I could probably use another one of these, but since they're like, I don't know, 14, 17 bucks, something like that, I kind of made my own. I went to Lowe's. Here is the plug I used. I hope that's focused. It's a 7/8 inch nylon plug, and then I used number 30 O-ring. Well, there's the specs. You guys can pause the screen there, but it makes a nice little package, and if you kind of push and twist at the same time, that O-ring will dip below and it'll seal up pretty nice. So there's your finished package right there. Looks pretty clean. Could you use another one of these plugs right down here? Absolutely, it would work. I just went with this because I thought it would look kind of bulky with two of those plugs side by side. This one is a lot slimmer, so grand total this cost me $4. Thought I'd give it a try. Buyer beware though, I haven't tested this long term, so if you give it a shot, keep an eye on it, make sure it's keeping water and everything out. Now I'm going to be doing some kind of polishing or paint correction on this in the next couple weeks, so I'm not going to leave these installed, but I wanted to get this video out, so I'm going to do a brief overview of the reassembly but not reassemble the whole thing. Okay, the first thing I would do is drop in the big chunk of factory plastic, plug your light right here back in the back. Okay, then exercising extreme caution, I would slide the front piece in, make sure the hole lines up for this little hanger right here, and also for this little plastic screw right here. Then of course I would put in the plastic screw right here and the little plastic screw hanger thing right here. After that I'd put my Phillips screws in. I'd start with one here, two right here, then one more right here and right here. Then I'd pop this cover back in, drop in my two Phillips here and here, then drop in this big piece of plastic, push down at the top, and then smack in the pressure fittings. Then 1, 2, 3 Phillips on this little guy. And finally I would drop in that rear subfloor with its 2 Phillips here and here, and then drop the carpet back on. And when the smoke clears, you should have an end product looking something like this. Obviously my car looks like junk right now without the spoiler, and of course it's filthy, so I still need to clean it, but hopefully this gives you guys an idea on how to delete that rear wiper and antenna. And for the DSM purists out there, don't worry, I'm not throwing any of this away. It's going into a bin. I don't plan on ever selling the car, but if I do, I will have all the OEM stuff to go with it. All right guys, I think that will do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. If you're digging the Eclipse, definitely stick around. We're gonna be doing a lot more with it. But in any event, I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one.
Listen.